What's going on, Dividend Chasers? Dividend Bloodhound here with another investing episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about my Trading 212 account and my goals for it for the future, and how you could potentially become a millionaire through Trading 212. Now, I know that sounds an absolutely ludicrous claim to make. However, with the new Pies application and investing in some serious growth stocks, you can actually 100% achieve that. This is no joke, I'm being completely legitimate here. If you look on your application, the Pies part is coming very soon. I will take you into the app shortly, and with just an investment of £100 a month and starting off with £100, within 15 years investing in the stocks that I'm going to show you, the Fang Stocks Plus is what I'm calling it because I've added a couple of my own stocks. But the app's done its own analysis on that. Based on a 33% return, it would take you just 15 years to become a millionaire through investing only £20,000 of your own money. Now, obviously, that is a ridiculous claim to make. However, that is the trajectory and the history of these companies right now. Now, these companies are power companies in the FAANG portfolio. And then on top of that, I've added, I'm assuming you know what FAANG is. That is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix and Google. But on top of that, I've added Tesla, Microsoft, Adobe and Nvidia, just to name a couple more, but I will show you them in a minute. All of these companies over the last few years have had an average return of 39%, which obviously is absolutely a huge return to have and a fantastic way to grow your money. Even if you don't become a millionaire in that time scale, you are going to get a serious return on your investment. That is obviously assuming that these companies make good on their past, which is obviously past performance isn't always an indicator of future performance, but that is the trajectory that these companies are on. They're always innovating, and that is exactly why they don't pay any dividends. I'm not trying to make any ridiculous claims here, guys. You will see the chart in the app in a minute when I take you in there. It is literally just consistently investing your money in high growth companies that have got really good history of returning great money on your investment. Now, some of these companies have been around for a little while now, and because they don't pay dividends, that is exactly why they can return so much money to you in terms of capital appreciation. The likes of Facebook and Tesla have never ever paid a dividend, and some of the others in there like Apple and Microsoft, their dividend yield remains really small because their growth rate is so high. And when I take you in there any second, I know I've said that twice now, you will see just the sort of return that I'm talking about. And this is a really cool feature within Trading 212, is the Pies application. Is an auto investment strategy where it will take the money from your bank account if you set it up that way, such as £100 a month, and you can put it straight in to the 10 stocks that you've selected, and it will weight them equally. If it's £100 for example and 10 stocks, it will weight them £10 each and buy you £10 of that company each time that you make a deposit, which is a really cool feature. And then if any of them do pay dividends, which not many of them do, because in my case here, this is my portfolio and I'm going for high growth, but I know for a fact that Apple and Microsoft do pay small dividends with respect to their, or in terms of their yield with respect to their share cost. You can reinvest that money straight away and buy more of those companies with that dividend, which is obviously a pretty cool feature. You can just let it do it itself, auto invest it. You could leave this alone for 10 years, and with these companies continuing the way that they are, that amount of money will be obviously a huge amount in 10 years time, as long as you can stay the course and you can leave the money alone, because as with all investments, it pays off to do it over the long term. Now, I'm just going to take you into the app any second, and just quickly want to say, if this video does bring you some value, please hit that like button in the corner there. That is fantastic for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're brand new here on the Dividend Bloodhound, it'd be absolutely fantastic if you could hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified of my further brand new content. That would be absolutely excellent. That being said, let's get into the app and let's have a look at this absolutely fantastic claim. See you in there. What's going on again, guys? Welcome into the app as promised. I'm in the pies section of my portfolio, and I'm going to go right ahead and show you what we've got going on. So it's under the little listing here. You can make a brand new pie if you want. I've only got one at the moment, and that is called FAANG Plus, which is here, and you can already see that I've funded it with £115, and it's already £2.15 up, or 1.9%. In terms of value, you can see that's exactly where it's at. I've got auto invest on, and then you can see that I am 0.02% towards my £1 million goal. Obviously that is a very, very lofty ambition to try and achieve, and hopefully I will still be blogging in the time in the future where I achieve this goal. If not, I hope to make some serious money along the way, even if it's not £1 million, and hopefully provide some entertainment to you guys. So the actual holdings of my pie then are as follows. So you can see I've got Facebook, I've got Microsoft, I've got Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Alphabet or Google, the group, Shopify, who's letting the side down at the moment, Salesforce, who I forgot to mention earlier, as well as Shopify, Nvidia, Adobe Systems, and Netflix. Now the reason all of these companies got selected is because of their ridiculously high growth rate, and the fact that they don't pay dividends really, and they reinvest that most of what would be the dividend back into the company for further innovation and better growth. Apart from Apple and Microsoft, their dividend will obviously be reinvested into their shares themselves, and then they can add the growth factor that way. Now, so the growth rate so far has been 1.8%, but US stocks have been on a tremendous tech rally at the moment. So my auto invest feature is on. My investment plan is to schedule a monthly payment once a month of £100 until the 8th of July 2035, which is when my plan will come to fruition and £1 million will be achieved. The value projection is after 15 years and 17.9k invested. Apparently the rest of that should be all gains, and that is obviously an awesome amount of gains to be going on, and it relies solely on the companies continue to have the success that they are having at the moment, which does stand a chance. They've got the history, they're all about innovation, all of these companies. The tech industry is still realising its potential. It's nowhere near complete yet. Amazon is just deciding to be at war with absolutely everybody. Tesla is nowhere near finished with its potential in terms of power and car sales. I've just given a brief rundown really of everything that's got going on here. Microsoft and Apple, software base for Microsoft still powering along. Facebook user membership is growing year on year on year, apart from they're struggling at the moment a little bit because companies aren't advertising so much on their site, but that's a short-term problem, I believe. Google, YouTube, all of these still growing hugely. Shopify, the ability to set your own business up online, again growing, although the share price isn't at the moment. Salesforce, CRM, customer retention management, absolutely vital to all companies across the world now, and using computers to do that is just taking it to the next level. Nvidia chips recently signed a deal with Mercedes to supply their cars, their autonomous cars in the future. Chips and graphics cards are going in absolutely everything from now, so huge growth potential there. Netflix has been growing since day dot really. I suspect they will plateau and the growth will slow down, but as more people across the world get involved, I believe there's still plenty of price growth in this company. And then Adobe as well, another software company that allows you to Photoshop on your computers, amongst other things, all high growth companies. So yeah, early on in these goals, diverse enough across the sector, but I appreciate they're all tech-based companies, so if the tech industry takes a hit, then my whole portfolio will take a hit, and that is a risk at the moment that I'm willing to take for some serious gains of potentially 39% each time, year on year, growing all the way through until I get to £1 million, which would be fantastic. And I will bring you guys with me every step of the way. And then you can quickly see it diversified across the rest of my portfolio here at £10 a piece. Actually made the portfolio look quite big now. And then you can see the little wheel at the bottom there, little semicircle, showing how diverse my portfolio now is. And you might have noticed that I've got the EQQQ NASDAQ in there across the 100 tech companies in the NASDAQ exchange as well. That is another tilt of my portfolio towards the future. That being said, I'm going to wrap us up here and I'll see you back out in the real world. Welcome back to the real world, guys. I appreciate I've got some lofty aims and goals there, but I always think big with my ambitions. I want to get towards that £1 million. I want to also build my dividend portfolio with free trade so that it provides me with a really good high passive income to replace my active income. And if that means that I need to get 20,000 a year passive income, 30, 40, 50, whatever income that I perceive to be safe and will get me out of having to have an actual job, is where I want to be with that. Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew. Maybe the companies will slow down their growth, who knows? But I've got that aim in mind, and I've got no qualms at the moment with taking the risk to get that going and maximise the returns on my investments. I'm willing to invest in the special acquisition companies that are out there and companies before IPO in terms of research, and I can maximise my money that way in terms of how profitable they will be in the future. With my research based on that, I can determine which ones I want to take on and which ones I don't. Some I haven't invested in yet, like Nikola, I've completely avoided because they've got nothing, but Hyliion I'm particularly interested in, and that to me is no different than to going not all in on these tech industries, but having a portfolio based on FAANG and based on the tech companies that are there. The IT is the future, it always will be, and it's just going to continue. Just a quick note there, I appreciate that this portfolio won't be for everybody. Please don't hate on me for making my own investment decisions here. I appreciate there is a lot of risk in this and there is a very lofty goal, but it is for me. You don't have to follow what I want to do in any way, shape or form. And please don't take this as the video that's going to make you a multi-millionaire overnight. As I've said, the timeline is at least 15 years on this one and requires consistency and sacrifice along the way. That being said, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it to the end. If you haven't already, please hit that like button in the corner there or the subscribe button over here, and hit that notification bell if you want to get notified of my future content. That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.